I'm sorry, Brielle. What did you say the win record for Tim DeGrom was on the channel?
That's 0 and 12.
0 and 12. 0 and 12. Oh, that's funny.
Welcome to a Play to Win podcast where we talk about winning in CEDH. I'm Cam.
I'm Dylan.
And this week, in celebration of us hitting 50,000 subscribers, we popped on a Zoom call with Brielle so we could go over the Play to Win stats from the past 3 years of gameplay.
Right, yeah, these are all the stats from our public games, not our Patreon games, for the last 3 years. Caveat, I'll mention this in the video, but these are like curated games, right? Like these are a lot of silly games, best one color deck. There's a lot of stuff that like I'm the one who's selecting which decks go on the channel. So I'm just saying.
There's an asterisk next to a lot of these statistics.
They do not represent the overall CDH metagame. These are just specifically our stats.
So we are going to answer a lot of questions that you didn't know that you had about Play to Win over the past 3 years.
This video is brought to you in part by our sponsor, Dragon Shield. Go support the channel and Dragon Shield by clicking on the affiliate link down below.
So let's take a look at how that Zoom call went. Hit it. What did they say?
Yeah, no, that's great.
That was great. Okay.
Hit it. Hi, Brielle.
Hi.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the stats that we're looking at today. How long has this process done? What does this process look like for you? How did you manage to do this?
Yeah, tell us everything.
I want to say just in Discord, someone mentioned, hey, do you guys keep stats for, I think maybe not even maybe 50 videos were out at that point. And you guys said, yeah, but like it looks ugly. So we kind of don't really do it as much anymore. So myself and that person was like, oh, hey, we can take a look into it and see what we can do. You gave me access to the Google Sheets and I went, yeah, this is ugly. And I'm gonna redo all of this. Is that okay? And so I kind of just went through every single video several times and kind of just plugged in sheets, and I've redone it twice now.
Oh no.
When I first set up the new sheets, it was great at capturing, every single win, loss, and turn. But then it turned into, now I want to get more in depth, like with the stats. And the current layout, it's just not going to work. And also, let me just double check myself. So I kind of went through and redid everything. And when I redid everything, and it's like, okay, well, let me just take care of just the guys' wins, like just the main four when they win. And then recently I was like, I don't like that because that's not really taking care of everything on the channel. So I went back and I redid them again. So it's like, okay, cool. Because even, when I would say, hey, the stats are done for this month, and you just say, what is it? Like every number is different. And even though clearly, Dylan, on the Google Sheets, each page is like, don't look at this.
I know there's so many backup pages. I have no idea which one's the real one at some point.
Ignore this. That's just because if I need to go back and do everything, I kind of have a freeze frame or I don't
know how you had the patience to go back and look through all of those episodes so many times because like you said, my version was so ugly and I just couldn't justify going back. I edited all those games. I spent so much time looking at each one individually. So thank you for looking through them all.
Yeah, we super appreciate all the hard work that you do on this. So it's great that we're finally able to talk about this. And I feel like this is the perfect milestone. We just hit our 3-year anniversary.
Crazy.
We just hit 50,000 subs. So this is really the best time to talk about this.
So what stats are we going to be talking about today? I know we have player stats, we have deck stats, we have deck win stacks. What else are we talking about, Brielle?
We have specific win conditions. We have wins by color identity. And then we have the highest win percentage and then lowest win percentage for certain decks.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Yeah, Brielle, start us off. What do you want to talk about first?
Yeah.
I need just to preface this. These are all play to win specific stats. This isn't like greater CDH. It's specifically our channel. And I just want to put a big, grain of salt that you should all be taking with this.
Yes.
These are curated games. These are games that we decided are entertaining. These are games where some giant mistake didn't happen and we had to cut the game or something.
Or some big giant mistake did happen and we wanted to leave it in.
Yeah, specifically because it was entertaining. So keep that in mind that these are play to win stats. These are our stats. They don't really represent CDH on the whole. They represent our specific one meta.
And in case you're curious, this is just for the main channel episodes and will not include any of the Chill to Win videos.
Correct.
And then on top of that, it's not going to be any casual games, any of the banned list games, any of the non-4 player games.
That's right. We did play a couple 3-player games. We played no ban list commander. We played casual games. That's not here. None of that. Specifically 4-player CEDH.
Regular CEDH.
Just regular
Like
style.
when you look in the dictionary and you look up CEDH.
Play to win CEDH.
Yes, you're right. Look up Webster's dictionary.
Play to win CEDH. It's a word. It's one word.
It's all one word, no caps. And it will say the pronunciation, and then it will say
this video.
Yes.
All right.
http://
All right. Sorry, Brielle. Anyway, back to you. What do we start with?
You're absolutely fine. So we can start off with player stats, and we'll start off with Cameron because I do everything alphabetically.
And first is the worst too, right?
So overall, channel-wide win percentage, Cameron, you're at 29%. And okay, so along with this as well, everyone has played a different amount of games. Obviously, Dylan has been in every single episode. Cameron, you're very close behind him. I think you're only, not including like in the stipulation we have, I think you're only 2 games behind him.
Yes, that sounds right.
What games didn't you play?
So
were you on vacation?
All the 3-player games I didn't play. There was an episode that was there was an episode that was a collaboration of 4 different channels. Where you were the only person on there. And I don't know what the other one is, but
that happened twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it was that twice. Okay.
Okay.
That's what it was.
You got to play with the professor though, so.
Oh yeah. I'll totally take that trade.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, you're at 29% with 38 wins and 129 losses.
That sounds like that's a lot less than 29%. That sounds like
when you say 38 to 129, that sounds bad, but 29%, that sounds pretty good.
29% is actually good, right? Like if your goal is 25%, like
it's all about
I feel
perspective.
pretty good about 29%. Okay, there we go. Don't look at the actual number and how you get there. It's all about that shiny little percentage.
And then you are pretty consistent with just the main 4 yourself. The both of you, Nate and Tyler. I think there are 80 or 64 games that you guys have played. For that, your win percentage is also 29%. You're at 15 wins, and then you're at 51 losses.
So it doesn't matter who I'm playing. I'm equally as good of a player no matter who I'm up against.
That's pretty good. The play to win Oni, you said that was just when it's Nate, Tyler, Cameron, and I, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And your average turn win is turn 6? Is that right too?
Right. It is turn 6, and then your average turn 1 order. So there's your seat position. That's turn 1.
That feels right.
Oh, sorry, I said turn 1. Sorry, seat 1.
Oh, seat 1. Okay, yeah.
So you are in position 1 more often than you're not in position 1
when I win.
When you win. Okay.
Yes. That's what the average is. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
On average, that's the seat position that I will win the game in.
I understand.
Yes.
Okay.
So
you win best when you're going first. If you
I win best going first, which kind of makes sense. I mean, I've been playing more recently. I've been playing like a lot more fast decks.
Yeah.
So I think that does tend to make sense. Like, you know, when you are able to go on the play, that really does change a whole lot. Even in Thrasios decks, right? Being able to like power Thrasios out when there's no other threats that you have to deal with on the board is a really helpful push.
Yeah, going first is helpful. I cannot argue there.
Yeah, I think that's
as old as time.
That's one similarity that you'll see.
The best thing that you can do to try to win games in CDH is to go first.
Yes,
win that die roll, man, are you favored? And Cameron is a prime example.
Yes, exactly.
I do really enjoy the average turn win stat because I think it tells a lot of the type of decks that person plays. When I'm plugging in the new stats and then generating that new average, then I just immediately think of like, oh, what kind of decks is Cameron playing? He seems more like, I don't know if you would consider yourself this, but I feel like you're more of like a combo aggro type of player.
Yeah, that's definitely 100% right. Yeah.
So I enjoy that one. So specifically, you have 11 wins when you're going first. And then your worst seat position is when you're going third, because that's only 7.
Interesting. Not going last.
No, because what happens when I go last is someone else tries to win and then I win after them.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet that's what happens. I bet that's like my Thrasios decks.
Maybe. I've often thought that like Dockside is a really big helper for those going in 4th position.
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if you had Dockside at any of those 4th position games with helped your win position.
Certainly could be, yeah.
Dylan, congrats. You have overthrown Tyler.
Finally.
You are So channel wins, you're at 39%. You're at 48 wins and 122 losses.
Holy cow.
I would also like to remind everyone here that I'm the one who picks which games go on the channel. I don't purposefully pick the games that I win, but this is very biased information.
No.
I have to bring that up no matter what. I am the one who selects the games. I pick them because they're entertaining. I'm also a little bit vain, and when I win, I'm entertained.
I feel you because I also feel like the games that I win are also very entertaining.
Right, yeah, so it kind of works like that.
So we're trying to get a good balance in
right,
but
yeah,
you also have to win games in order to be considered for the episode.
Yes, but I definitely. I also there's some great wins that I've had that I put on the Patreon, so it's not like I just dump all of my wins on the channel. But I just want to make sure that we mention that before we go no further.
Tyler was dominating forever,
but we just couldn't have that.
Yeah, all of his wins on Patreon now.
So play to win only, you're at 34%, and that's 17 wins and 49 losses. Your average turn win is also 6. But when I think of Dylan, I feel like you have different eras, as the cool kids say nowadays. I feel like you bounce in between like wanting to win through combat damage, like the Kiki Jiki combo, and then you were super into stacks for a little while. So I feel like you go through different eras.
Definitely. Yeah. I think in CDH specifically, I really don't have like a type that I like to play just because I like to play all of it. I bounce around so much. So yeah, that definitely makes sense that sometimes I hyper focus on like Blood Pot, for instance, I know has like a lot of games on the channel because I was playing Blood Pot a lot for a while, but now I don't touch it at all anymore. So that's definitely true.
And then your average turn order is win is 2. So you have 12 wins when you've gone second. And then your worst, funnily enough, is actually when you go first. You only have 9.
Dude, am I cursed? What the hell?
That's so funny.
I'm worst favor. Like that's when I win the least is when I go first.
Correct. Yes.
That's incredible.
Wow, that's funny.
How many games have I won when I go first? Do you know that?
Yeah, 9. Just 9.
9.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so the gap isn't too long.
It's not huge. Okay.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
It sounds like you're pretty good about winning the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say that because you have, so second is 12, third is 11, and then you have going fourth, it's at 10, and then
oh my god, it's literally down the
first
scale.
It's 9.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we have Nate, who's been in the least amount of videos. So his win percentage is 24% for the channel. That is 13 wins and 53 losses, and it's the exact same for play to win only. It's 24%.
That's the only time that he's on the channel is when it's the 4 of us.
Nate is our 4th normally.
Yes.
So if we have a 4th, if we didn't have a 4th, Nate will be the one we didn't have normally.
Yeah.
So, but even still, we kind of tease Nate for having like bad turn ones and stuff like that. But he still has a 24% win percentage.
That's still really good.
So
yeah.
good.
Yeah, for me, the limited time he's on, he does well. Let's see, his average turn win is 7. I feel like he plays a lot of stacks win for him.
Yeah.
He was on Heliod he got a couple wins out of Heliod.
Well, yeah, the thing about Nate that I always remember is that on our very first video, he 3-peated us with Heliod.
Right.
He came out of the gate absolutely stomping.
Yeah, that definitely changed all the statistics.
Oh yeah.
And then his average turn order is when he's going third. That is at 5 wins, and his worst is when he's 4th because that's only 1 win.
Because he only gets like 2 turns.
Interesting. So he wins most when he's 3rd. I win most when I'm 2nd. You win most when you're 1st. When does Tyler win most? And don't tell me when it's 4th. Is it 4th?
No, darn it. That could have.
Damn.
That
would have been really
that would have been
balance.
perfect. I'd take a quick look. So we could run through his. Tyler, his channel win percentage is 34%. That's 34 wins and 99 losses.
Ooh, nice. So Tyler's got a nice high number up in the 30s too. Holy cow.
So play to win, that is 40%. Is his win percentage. That's 19 wins and 47 losses.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty clear out of the 4 of us which one is the best player.
Yeah.
I think this makes it pretty freaking obvious.
Yeah, that play to win only percentage. When he's playing us, he wins the most out of the games that he plays us. So I only gain some amount of advantage when we're playing guests and other people, apparently.
Yeah, it sounds like that goes the same for me too.
Yeah, which sounds about right. Tyler definitely plays the person much more than he plays the game or the deck or anything. He can play the people. He reads people very well. So that makes sense that since he's been playing with us longer, he beats us better.
Oh yeah. He's a very knowledgeable player. So I'm not surprised by these statistics at all.
We don't have to talk about this now, but we also have the statistics on each individual player on which win conditions we won with the most, right?
Yeah, we can get into that.
Cool. That might make. Should we talk about that?
Well,
now?
we should finish Tyler. We have.
Sure. I'm so sorry. We cut off Tyler. Let's finish on Tyler. I'm jumping the gun here.
Yeah, no problem. So we have his average turn win is turn 8. I mean, he goes for the long game, and then we'll get into his specific win conditions. We'll see why, and then his average turn order win is when he goes first.
Okay, so when he also goes first, he wins the most.
Sense.
Okay.
We also have learned now that the later the game goes, the more lethal of a threat Tyler is.
Exactly.
So if the game goes late, he's the threat.
So why do you play stacks all the time?
That's true. I can stop playing stack. I like what you're doing. We got to win early when Tyler is disadvantaged.
Shit.
Yeah, that's what we've learned from these statistics. We got to play faster deck.
Yeah.
Beat Tyler. That's the whole reason we're doing this. How do we beat Tyler?
The new arch nemesis of the
I've just
show. So we should. I kind of want to talk about the guests before we get into some of the win conditions, just to kind of round all this out.
Yeah, Brielle, give us the guest information. Sorry, that was like very demanding. I didn't mean for that to be demanding.
Their phone number, their social security number, credit cards.
Brielle, you're up. Continue.
So I know that we are filming this on the last day of February, but it is still Black History Month. I need you to relax, okay? No. So for the guests, their win rate is 32%. So that's counting every single person who's been a guest, myself included. You guys are welcome. That's 26 wins and then 81 losses.
So I have a question.
Nice.
How come everyone has a positive good win record?
Yeah, how does that work out?
A higher than 24, except for Nate. Everyone's got a higher than 25% win record.
Yeah, everyone's just playing different amounts of games. So it's just to themselves, not in comparison to everyone else, I guess.
Sure.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I'm sure there are also some people on the channel that have a 0% win record.
That unfortunately might be true.
A guest that might have come on that maybe we didn't get a win at that time. So I'm sure that also kind of helps in our favor too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could get into specific win condition.
Let's do it.
Channel wide, of course, it's Thassa's Oracle. We all know that. That's going to be everyone's pretty much
Big
highest
surprise.
percentage.
Yeah. Highest. The thing that wins the game the most is Thassa's Oracle.
I didn't think that it would be that way for me because I spent a lot of time playing Jessica Ishai, which didn't run Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah.
So I thought like, oh, maybe my Thassa's Oracle win rate isn't going to be as high as it is. But no, like it's still in the high 30%.
Yeah. What is the statistics on all of us on which one wins the most? Like how many percent of the games is won by Thassa's Oracle?
So for Cameron, it is 38% of his wins comes from Thassa's. For yourself, Dylan, it's 40%. For Nate, he's the least. It's only 9%. He's only done it once.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
He's never really played much Thassa's Oracle decks.
Oracle player, yeah.
No.
And then Tyler, also pretty low. It's 18%.
Well, Mr. Kinnan, that also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so many of Tyler's games are on Kinnan.
So please don't ban Thassa's Oracle. Otherwise, Dylan and I won't win.
We won't win any games in Magic. What
are we gonna do? Rely on skill?
It looks like my second highest percentage thing that I win the game with is combat damage. More than anything else is combat damage.
No, I feel like that makes sense. Does that include Kiki Jiki lines? Because if that's the case, that totally makes sense for you.
Yeah, the Kiki makes sense.
Yeah, you've been you love Kiki.
The next thing from Thassa's Oracle, it would be combat damage, but specifically, the Kiki combo is 10%. The Godo combo is 4% of your wins. Dual caster, 6%.
So that's 16% right there. That's making up a chunk. That's separate than the dual caster, or that's part of the dual caster?
So when it just says combat damage, that just means you literally just killed them with combat damage.
With actual combat damage, right? That's separate from the Kiki.
Yeah, you were playing like Yasharn or someone. And
yeah,
you, had
that's what I mean. Like that's kind of crazy. That like my second, the way that I win the game, the second most likely is actual just combat damage, and then it's Kiki Jiki combo, and then Twin Flame dual caster.
Wow, yeah.
kind of interesting that like besides Stasis Oracle, I win the game most through combat damage.
That is really interesting. Yeah. Well, I want to go to mine. I want to see what else I'm winning with.
Let's look over what Cameron's winning with.
Your next types would also just be general combat damage.
Wow. Oh, do you know why? Because Ishai.
Yeah, bird beats.
Yeah, Ishai just winning the game. Okay, that makes sense.
And then Cameron, your third highest is my favorite. Did not specify. It was just, I won.
Is that just like a forced concession out of everyone? Is that what that is?
Is that what that is?
What is, yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, there was just, he's pretty much got it at this point. You guys just want to scoop.
I was probably like going through a loop.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just like said, okay.
That's so funny.
12% of my wins are like that.
12% of your wins are from talking too much. And the table's like, fine. Just, that's all right. Yeah, you win.
Yes. See, words are a powerful tool.
And then you have, I think this all is pretty much coming out of just when you're playing like Jessica Ishai, then you've won just using Jessica pings. You've won, which is different than repeated pinging.
Oh, sure.
That's probably someone who's not specific. Like you've won using Niv Mizzet. You've won using a Professor Onyx and Chain of Smog. And then you've won, let's see, just like brain freezing and making everyone draw their decks.
I'm just a fucking Renaissance man over here.
Looks like a lot of pinging. You got repeated pinging, Onyx Chain pinging, the Mizzet Curiosity, which is pinging.
That's a lot of pinging.
Mag the Draga pinging, Jessica pinging. You're pinging guy.
I'm pinging.
Well, you're like the combo person, right? These are all combos pretty much.
So. Yeah, that makes sense, right? You just run through a bunch of loops. That's why people concede all the time, because I'm just running through a bunch of loops and they're like, I don't want to do this.
Shoot twice, shoot three, shoot four. They're like, okay, yeah, that's enough.
I totally get it.
So Nate is here to fight. He's at 36% for his wins, and that's just through combat damage. Just
you know what? That makes sense. Nate is very much like a last man standing type of winner. Like just like let the table beat themselves up and use his like skills from standard and limited formats where he can just attack with his creatures and win that way. This makes total sense to me. About Nate.
And he does very well with those kind of decks too. So. That does not surprise me at all.
Opponent decked self. Is that one too? Can we go over some of the others?
Oh, I remember that one. That was one. I think Tyler was playing Niv Mizzet, or we weren't playing a way to shuffle Tyler's graveyard back into his library. Oh. So instead of killing the table, Tyler drew out his deck and couldn't stop it from happening. So Nate just... Again, last man standing himself.
That's the best. I love that. Yeah. Go, Nate.
And then we have next is just pings. It was just some non-specific or I guess, main way of just pinging guys to death. Then you have food chain and get rog line that he's won with as well.
Some extra little spice in there too.
That makes sense. And this 9.1%, that's just one game, right?
Yes.
I think that's how those
all
numbers...
of them are Thassa, food chain, and the get rog line and the opponent deck self. Those are all just one game. He's won with that.
Got it.
Okay.
For Tyler,
I'm very excited to hear about this.
Also here for the beats, his highest is combat damage.
And that's got to be like Finale of Devastation, right? Like that's what that combat damage is in Tyler.
Yeah, Kinnan infinite combo, and then that.
Yeah, that's where the majority of his comes from. Unless it's Jessica Dargo or you guys are doing like the new set that just came out. He's pretty much just playing Kinnan. And then you have the land ping, which is that oh god.
Naru Meha.
Yeah,
he's won a couple games. Naru Meha.
He did. We played Naru Meha. Yeah, that's a ghostly flicker. Yeah. That desert. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And then we have, he also does not specify. I know, I can tell you one game was just with Kinnan, and then you guys went, okay, cool, he has it. I think it was recently with the Perplexing Chimera, where it was just like, yeah, he wins. And so I was like, awesome.
Yeah, and like there's cards in that deck like Void Winnower that you just get to a point where it's like there's nothing we're gonna be able to do. Yeah.
And then we have his run with Thassa's Oracle, not too much. He has a Kiki combo in there. Let's see. And then brain freezing. Just one game, but brain freezing out everyone else.
Cool. Well, it's very interesting to see the stats of all of us individually. They kind of make sense, right? I feel like they all, for the most part, I mean, we played them, so I feel like they make sense.
I'm not totally surprised at what I'm seeing. Like, I think there's some things like seeing things spelt out as like combat damage makes sense. I mean, I've killed a lot of players with Ishai specifically, so I think just like knowing exactly what that percentage is just might be a little bit, you know, higher than what I was initially anticipating. But otherwise, I think a lot of the stuff does make sense and, you know, isn't too far off.
Definitely. Moving on.
This kind of goes back and harkens into turn wins. Cameron won 2 games on turn 2.
Oh,
ooh,
nice.
Hell yeah. Again, me playing fast combos. That's what it's about.
There you go.
That's also going to be in line with Gitos99 also winning 2 games on turn 2.
With Godo.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Very nicely done, Gitos.
Yeah, go. If any deck can win early consistently, it's Godo.
100%.
Tyler has 1 turn 1 win.
Tyler has the only turn 1 win.
No, ignore that. I can't read. Tyler has 1 turn 2 win. I don't think literally anybody has a turn 1 win.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we've never won on turn 1 on the channel. We have to change that. We have to play the best. You have to play the best ad nauseam deck or something. What's the fastest deck in CDH? And
it's all non-blue decks.
We're just gonna keep on. We're just gonna keep on playing until someone wins on turn 1. I think. Is there a chance? There might be a chance that we did have a turn 1 win, and I put it on the Patreon because it was such a non-game. That is a very real possibility.
That definitely is a possibility.
I can't think of when that happened, but
neither do I. But I now that you say that, that totally
that sounds right. I should go double check and look through. I wonder if that is the case.
It happened. Don't worry about it.
It could have happened. We win on turn 1 all the time. I was not recording when we do.
I remember one of my turn 2 wins was with Krom Tevish for a Halloween video.
Nice.
And my other, I don't think I remember my other turn 2 win.
Okay.
I've tried to win on turn 2 a lot in general.
But my turn 2 attempts, yeah. I don't have a turn 2.
Your other one was the play to win double feature. I don't know if that was
a double feature. Yeah, we did. It was a game that we did with one guest and then a game that we did with another guest.
Right. Yes. Because there were 2 very fast wins.
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty. And then we have the opposite, the longest turn win is Tyler. He's had the longest win on the channel. That's non-infinite, which is 1 turn 16 win, and then he's had 2 turn 14 wins.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me. Like 3 late game wins like this.
Is turn 16 the latest we've ever gone on a play to win game? Do you know that?
Yes, that's not like an infinite Edric's like turn type of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, the longest is
16.
Turn 16.
Holy cow! Did you think that was going to be longer?
No, that I didn't think it would be that long. I didn't know that we have ever gone to turn 16. Honestly,
I don't know if I ever would have thought that either.
I would have probably guessed like 10 or 11. I wouldn't have guessed 16.
Brielle, do you know the game that went to turn 16?
Yeah, that's the best Zendikar Rising.
Yes. This is a Yasharn win.
Nice.
This is totally a Yasharn
Tyler won with Yasharn. Hell yeah.
Tyler crushed us with Yasharn, actually. Went undefeated with Yasharn.
Yeah, incredible. Right? Yasharn was undefeated on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he won the first game turn 16 and the second game turn 11.
Wow.
Yep. That sounds like he had absolute control the whole time.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch those games now. Damn.
Oh, man, that was great.
Should I play Yasharn?
Good Yasharn. One of my favorite early podcasts that we did was
the
Yasharn podcast.
Yeah.
The Big was great.
I got to go back and build that deck.
Yeah.
There's gotten some new cards, I feel like, recently.
Oh, totally. I mean, every single new white tool that you get.
Yeah.
It's got Archivist of Agma. We didn't play with Archivist of Agma.
That's true. Yeah. It's got card advantage now.
Holy fucking shit.
All right, I'm going to put that deck together.
So who else wins in the late game?
Dylan, you're not too far behind. You have 2 on turn 14.
Nice.
And then Nate has 1 on turn 14.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm prone to just throwing away control. Maybe throwing away control of the game is not the right way to say it, but inevitably a mistake is made, and then maybe I can't just close it out when it gets that late, I guess. But
yeah.
Either that or I've blown my load way before turn 11 or 12 happens.
The latest you've ever won, Cameron, is actually turn 9 consistently.
You ever made the double digits?
Can't make it. I hate the double digits.
I feel like we got to set some goals. I want to turn 2 win, and I feel like you need to turn 10 win.
Okay.
All right.
I think we're going to set some goals. Those are good goals. Okay. You need to turn 2.
Yeah.
Turn 2 or quicker, ideally.
Ideally, turn 1. If I can get the first turn 1 on the channel, it's going up.
Now, I'd rather have that accolade first, and then I'm gonna go for my turn.
All right, you can go for the first turn 1 also, but I will be going for it too.
All right, expect me playing all the fast decks now. So, what commanders have we played the most?
So the single most commander card that has been used, that is a partner, of course, is Thrasios.
Gracias.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And I'm using that for stipulation because after him, who's not a non-partner, would be Kennen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that also
Because
makes
Tyler-
sense. Yeah.
Yep. There's our bias showing.
When you look at all of our playlists, like Thrasios is split up into all of his different partners.
Yep.
So I guess combined, yeah, that does make sense.
It only
that
makes sense.
Thrasios
Yeah.
has been on the
Which,
most.
which is one of the reasons why Thrasios is so good, is you can pair him with 1,000 different decks and he's good in all of them.
Exactly.
He has 65 different appearances, and he's at a 51 win percentage. If you're using some sort of Thrasios deck, you are most likely going to win.
Holy cow.
That's crazy. Like, yeah, 51% for Thrasios. I mean, that's like across multiple decks, right? So that's not any one deck.
So we played a lot. We played Thrasios Bruce, Thrasios Akiri, Thrasios Timna, Thrasios Crown, Thrasios Rograk,
Thrasios Tevish,
Thrasios Tavish, Thrasios Tormod.
Yeah.
We played
a lot of Thrasios.
A lot of different Thrasios.
I mean, yeah, I feel like we're staying behind all of this. Yeah, that makes sense because all of it does make sense because we played all of these games.
We were there for all of them.
We were all there for all of these games.
Yeah.
Thrasios, although it kind of gets a little bit, I feel like I talked this before, but Thrasios is not hailed as the king anymore. You know, Thrasios at one point was the king, and that's no longer the case. But I think it's still the case. I think it might still be the case.
It might still be the case. Well, keep in mind, this is also over the course of 3 years. So there also might be some decks that might be inflated because of how things were, in 2020.
Before, when Flash was still allowed.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe that will come up at some point.
Yeah, so right behind him, naturally, we have Temna at 41 appearances, and she has a 32 win percentage.
That's a big difference.
I would have put Timna higher. I
would have assumed Timna would have been somewhere in the 40s or at least like a little bit closer to Thrasios.
Yep.
I'm surprised Timna's win rate is this low, actually.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean,
but there's some things that we're going to talk about later that make this make sense.
Yeah.
I guess speaking of deck stacks, let's do this in a fashionable order, unlike the rest of every other podcast we've ever done.
Including this one.
We
suddenly decided for order.
Structure in the middle of this thing all of a sudden. So let's talk about the decks that have won the most over the longest amount of games. That was not the right way to say this.
How about the highest win rate with at least 10 games? The title that Brielle already had.
Thank God someone smarter than me figured out a way to say that.
Brielle?
Yeah, so this is with at least 10 games being played. Due to the nature of your channel, you guys play a lot of different decks, so not everyone makes multiple appearances. But with the highest win percentage, like percentage-wise, even though it's not played anymore, we have Thrasios Temna, but specifically the Flash Hulk version. So we are at 54 win rate with 11 appearances.
Which is
maybe
crazy.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we'll talk about the other ones, but this is like the highest win rate per any deck on the channel by like a lot. And it's so funny that it's Flash Hulk, that like the deck that everyone it really did need to get banned. As much as I loved that format and I loved Flash as a card, it's very obvious even from our small sample size that Flash was just way too strong.
Well, it wasn't even around for very long before it got banned,
right?
Since we had started filming. So it's really in a lot of our early content. And in a lot of our early content, we had one game or we had one video where there were 2 Flash Hulk decks up against the other decks that we were playing. So that was like a clean 3-0 for Flash Hulk right there. And then there's probably only one or two other videos that Flash Hulk actually made an appearance for. But I think it kind of showed how oppressive Flash Hulk actually was.
Yeah, nonetheless, the deck still won a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
And then right under that, at 38%, you have 2 decks being Godo and then Jessica Ishai.
All right.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. I feel really good about Jessica Ishai being the second most winningest deck, technically.
You don't even have that deck together anymore, right?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I didn't do well with it in a tournament. And now I just decided I kind of want to play. Take it apart. And now I just kind of want to play other stuff right now. Yeah. I'm sure I'll come back to it at some point, but I'm just kind of exploring the format more now.
Yeah. I mean, we had G-Toast on the channel for Godo, so we have a couple extra wins that way.
Godo, a couple of good
I had a couple wins with Godo. Godo is like an easy to win with deck. I shouldn't say that. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. Godo is very powerful. So yeah, seeing it as a very winningest deck on the channel. I mean, a lot of these things I feel like are age-old CDH things. Thrasios is good. Godo is good.
Yeah.
That maybe we have forgotten since so many new cards have gotten printed. But even with all of those new cards and things, I mean, at least on our channel, those truths still remain. Godo and Thrasios are good.
Then right after that, we have at 38% Kinnan with 13 wins, 21 losses, and 34 total games played.
That's so many games.
34 total games is like more than any other deck.
More than any other deck.
These stats I feel like are the most right, probably. So this win record is like the strongest. Like this 38%
Our sample size is a lot bigger for this one.
Yeah, this is a strong 38%. Like this is out of 34 games, whereas yours is out of 13 games.
Yeah, right.
No offense, but this is a stronger 38%.
Oh, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, Kinnan's a great deck. Not much more to be said. We know that Tyler plays the deck well.
So we have Kess at 35% and then 14 total games.
Yep, this one's kind of on the same ballpark as Jessica Ishai.
Yeah.
Honestly, looking at these stats are the reason why I keep trying to take Kess apart and I can't. I go, oh, it's the deck that I win the most with. All right, fine. I should just keep it together.
Good, yeah.
But yeah, Kess is so good. I like Kess a lot.
Yeah.
There are decks that do things faster and more powerful, but I still think Kess is just a powerful commander. Very consistent.
So we do have some honorable mentions. They didn't hit 10 total games, but we have like a whole stack of people who are at 44%. So I was going to name off two. So I have Yisan and then Ikra Krom at 44%. And then we have Timnatana Bloodpod at 27%.
Yeah, so definitely still very solid win records for these, especially Yisan and Ikra Krom.
Yeah. Yisan is a strong one. I think Nate won a couple games with Yisan.
He did really well with it.
The line is very clear. It's straightforward, and if you can get there, it's a super powerful deck.
I actually am surprised Bloodpod's win record is lower than this.
Yeah, Bloodpod. Honestly,
I thought it would have been higher.
Bloodpod sucks. I love Blood very much. And I know that I have been known before to play Bloodpod. It can be the right deck in the right meta and the right format, but overall, Winota, I think, is just so much better. Winota does what the deck wants to do better. The deck, it's just you can't. It's so hard to control a whole table without like just the raw advantage you get from Winota. Bloodpod can still have wins. It can be a very powerful deck. Yeah. But these numbers make sense to me.
That's not all you. The first time Bloodpod was on the channel was for our first best 4-color deck video, and I went 0-3 in that pot. So like that also didn't really help here.
And then we have the flip side of that. We have the lowest win percentage with at least 10 games.
Oh boy. We just talked about one of my more shining moments, and I'm sure one of my more lowest moments is going to come up.
So this is obviously not going to be including like 0%. We have a couple of those, but we have Ikra Brews at a 15% win rate.
Nice.
Yep, that's high.
That feels really high.
That feels really high for Ikra Brews, honestly.
2 out of 13 you won. 2 games out of 13 games.
Yes. Yeah. I lost 11 of them. There was a string of times where like I would come over to your place to record and I would look on the screen and see I was playing Ikra Brews and I would be like, what the fuck? I'm doing this still?
Yeah. Our decks, some of them sucked.
Oh man, yeah.
We have at 18%, a little better. We have Food Chain Sliver.
Okay, this one also makes sense for me too.
This is funny because we have like merch about how Food Chain wins games, and it just doesn't. Which is like the funny part.
So bad.
Yeah,
which is so funny because like I'm now at a point where Food Chain Sliver I think is like the worst Food Chain deck.
Yeah, I think
every
so too.
time I play it, I feel like I don't have the pips that I need.
Yeah.
I can't get wins in.
Yeah.
I don't have enough interaction. Like I just don't like it.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I think Food Chain Slivers, this sucks.
Fucking shows over here.
Fucking shows.
And then we have Gitrog at 20%.
I blame Nate for this one.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm just gonna blame Nate for this one, and then we can move on.
I did get a Gitrog win.
Okay, good. All right.
So I know one of those is mine.
This is yours.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned it before, but I just love the way you say Gitrog, Cam. It's so fun.
Gitrog?
Just no, that's not how you say it.
How do you say it? How do you say Gitrog?
Gitrog.
What is he?
Oh, the Gitrog?
The Gitrog.
Yeah,
Gitrog.
You pronounce the T?
The Gitrog.
The Gitrog monster. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, we can just briefly touch on color identity. The color identity with the most wins is Wooburg.
That makes sense.
5 color decks are good.
Yeah.
I know this is true.
Okay, everyone write that down.
Write that down. 5 color decks. Good. Yes.
And then we have Simic.
I can't. That's a play to win only statistic.
Do we need to
right
talk
there.
about why Kinnon's good on the channel more? I feel like this you've heard, you got enough. You understand by now that we think Kinnon is good.
Yeah, Sans Red after that.
That's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Sans Red. Who is the Sans Red?
Thrasios Timna.
Thrasios Timna. Not
Thrasios
interesting.
Timna,
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah.
I do believe that's mostly coming out of partner commander. So we have Grixis.
Ooh, that also makes sense.
Grixis is good.
Yeah.
And then we have Izzy.
Okay, so this is like maybe Kraken Sekishima Niv Visit or something?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, they get a lot of wins on the channel.
You know what? You also won a couple games with that Malcolm Crom list you were hot on
Did
for
I?
a hot second. Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that I won any games with that.
Oh, yeah, you did. They got on the channel.
Nice. Interesting. Oh, weird. How did that happen? What, my weird pet deck wins got on the channel? That's weird. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
All right. I want to throw out a couple of other just like major CEDH decks, Brielle. I'm just curious about what these win records are here. What about Winota? How's Winota done?
So Winota is still pretty, I guess, new to the channel, but she's at 33%. And I do believe she's still less than 10 games. So I'm also in that. Yay me. But yeah, Winota is 3-6.
Nice. Yeah. So that would be 9 games. So
Yeah.
she's pretty close. If we got one more game with Winota in, which I don't think we'll ever do, I'm sure that she'll be pushed up into our top win percentages at that point.
Yeah. It's weird to say that Winota is kind of a new commander because she came out like years ago at this point, but I just
2020.
It kind of like where we started, but
Yeah.
like it just took us a while, I think, to bring. It took us a while for her to become number one, like a really good CDH commander. It took her a little bit, and a while longer for her to get us on the channel a little bit more. But she's definitely a commander that those stats are only going up coming in the future.
There's a couple of them that I know what they're going to be, but I just want to hear them said.
Okay.
Croxa.
0.
0. Yes. Out of how many games?
Out of 8.
8. Yes, Croxa has been on the
man.
game. It's 8 games that we've played that deck on the channel.
There are a couple of decks that just got done dirty by early play to win.
Yeah.
Between having Flash Hawk in the meta and,
Whatever else.
us being less experienced players certainly didn't help either. What about Jessica Dargo?
That is 0 out of 9.
Yeah.
So we've talked about Tyler being great, so now we want to talk about
Yes. This is another. We had Tyler's pet deck won 0 out of 9 games on the channel. How did that happen?
Let's just go over a couple more. Fire off a couple other ones here, Brielle.
So we have Crocker Takashima. They're at 40%. We have Rog Silas. They're also at 40%. We have the non-Flash Hulk version of Thrasios and Timna. That's at 50%. And then we have Urza. He's at 11%.
That one's my fault.
You're gonna take the blame for
Yeah,
for
that's definitely my fault for Urza. I went 0-6 was my first original runs with Urza. 3-second Kraken though, so I got a game win in.
Oh, because the second
state.
Kraken's good.
Yep,
That's
the
right.
second
Okay,
Kraken
second
was
Kraken's
good,
good.
yeah.
Okay. But I feel like there's one deck that we haven't talked about throughout this entire podcast, Brielle. Maybe one very popular deck, the Timna Crom. What about that one?
Yeah, Timna Crom has a really good showing on the channel at 0-12.
Yeah. So whose fault is
Oh
that
my
one? I feel like
God.
I played that deck a decent amount. That might be my fault.
I played that deck on the channel too.
Yeah. We have played it on the channel when it used to be not Blue Farm, when it instead was
Like the Bear Weaver decks.
no, it was like the Thief decks. It was
the Notion
the
Thief
Notion
decks.
Thief. The what are they called? What were they called?
That's what they're called.
Nope.
Opus Thief.
Opus Thief. Yes.
Yes.
Back when it was Opus Thief and it was hard to find a win against Flash Hulk back in those days. But yeah, and we also, of course, we just had Brian Koval on the channel who's playing this deck, who did get a win with this deck, but just
It's on the chilled away.
It's on
Yeah.
Patreon. We didn't do that on purpose. It's
No,
just how it worked out for timing wise.
There might be other wins that Blue Farm has that's on the Chill to Win.
Yeah, that probably.
Yeah.
It just hasn't fucking made it to the main channel for some reason. But one day, one of these days.
So Blue Farm sucks.
Yeah.
Farm sucks.
Things to learn. Blue Farm sucks.
Yes.
And also a goal of the channel. I want the turn 1 win. You want the turn 10 win, and also the turn 1 win.
Yeah.
And we want Blue Farm to win on the channel.
Yeah, we do want Blue Farm to win on the channel. So,
Right.
and when we bring on the Blue Farm guy, we just put it on the Patreon.
Weird.
I just want to say my personal gripe. Out of nowhere, because I just looked at it. Niv Mizzet, he is at, let's see, 2-8. I need everyone to start playing Niv Mizzet better. Okay, Molt 5, guys. It's okay. You want Niv Mizzet out. That's what you need. Don't worry about counters. Just get Niv Mizzet out, and you will win. I promise.
I have a Niv Mizzet win on the channel, pre-Jeweled Lotus.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's an accomplishment.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Brielle. I really appreciate it. Are there any other stats, anything else that we should go over before we head out?
No. No.
Phenomenal.
Great.
Well, that's an exciting way to end the episode. Brielle, this was great. Thank you so much for doing this. We super duper appreciate this.
Yeah, absolutely. Have we talk to you guys later?
All right. Sounds good. Bye, Brielle.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you'd like to support us directly, you can do so on Patreon, like our $100 patrons.
Baby Jeebus and Demon of Rosgrees.
If you want to pick up any of our merch, you can do that at playtowinmtg.com.
Once again, a big shout out to Dragon Shield. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Make sure you check out their affiliate link down below to get their new awesome looking sleeves.
If you want to pick up any more of our, if you want to follow any more of our, if you want to get any more content, you can do so at our Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
All right, Porky Pig.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching.
I did it. I fucked it up. Let's talk about our $50 patrons.
Let's shout out some $50 P's.
Well, let's maybe not call them that. Let's just $50 patrons.
All right, that sounds good. Stashes.
Mitchell Shepard,
Justin.
Eli Ritchie,
Man Solo.
Kola Marikovic,
Steven Shalikdi.
Big TP 15,
That Green Guy.
Dane Jackson,
Isaiah Berliski.
Michael Lyon,
Pedro.
Meadow Blaze Games,
Wind Wave.
C,
Khwaja A. Hamid.
Jacob Depp,
CZ.
Michael Ballou,
Jan Wildfang.
Sleepy Jarvis,
Thomas Bueno.
Swampy McGee,
Lauren Connell.
David Nelson,
Jor Mag.
James Noon 845. La 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 la. Welcome to Something. This is where we'll talk about something. Sometimes we'll talk about other things, but mainly we'll talk about things and such. Cameron, what do you think that we should talk about?
Well, I think that there is a couple things that we should talk about, and I think that all of them include many important topics, such as the things that I know that you're thinking of, which may include a multitude of different options.